And for that, I'm joined by Florence Villemeau. Good morning, Flo. So the focus on a new hurdle for a government plan to open a controversial drug centre in the centre of Paris. Tell us more.
Well, that's right. These are called shooting galleries, and basically it's a centre where drug users can inject their drugs in a safe and, clean environment. But Libération says that the government is facing a bad trip here because it's facing this hurdle that it kind of set up for itself. Basically, when the government said that it wanted to open this shooting centre, it was greeted by a big opposition group, a very vocal opposition group who said it was going to increase criminality and drug use. It was going to be a real health risk. So the government asked the Conseil d'État, which is a government body that acts as a legal advisor, to look into this. And the Conseil d'État said actually it was against this shooting gallery, as it's called, saying that this gallery was actually in breach of a law from 1970 on drug use. So the government is now not probably going to be able to open this center in the immediate future, and it's unclear whether or not it will actually ever be able to open this center. Libération says that the government here is being really overly cautious because over the last couple of decades, these kind of centers have been developing in dozens of countries, in neighboring countries, first of all, in Germany, Spain, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, but as well as Canada and Australia, and they've proven to work. They have medical virtues because they've been proven to help cure drug addiction and especially lower drug-related deaths.
Right, and as you were saying, they have opened in other countries, one of those being Switzerland.
That's right. Libération takes a closer look at one of these centers. It's called the Cactus. It's near the town of Bern. Now, 500 drug addicts come to that center to take their drugs in a very supervised and clean environment. Basically, they can get clean needles, and medical staff is there to supervise them and also give them counseling about trying to stop their drug addiction. And Libération says this center is actually proven to be very good for the local community.
All right, let's switch gears slightly now and go back to our top story today, which is, of course, the US government shutdown. It's being widely reported everywhere I can imagine, and getting also lots of attention in the French press, of course.
That's right. Les Echos, the business paper, takes a look at how these furloughed workers are spending their time, how they're reacting to this shutdown. Now, first of all, there are those who work for the federal government, and they've been greeted with a real solidarity movement. A lot of restaurants and bars, etc., are giving them discounts. But then there are all those people who work for NGOs and other organizations that receive government funding, and they don't have the official documents to prove that they receive government funding and therefore get these discounts. Now, everybody, according to this article, is killing time as best they can, cleaning up their documents, doing all sorts of gardening and everything like that. But a lot of them are eating through their savings and don't know whether they're going to be able to get paid for the time where they're off work. So it's a very precarious situation. No one really knows how long it's going to last, and everyone is looking at the Congress to see when the situation is going to get cleared up. Les Echos takes a closer look also at two brothers who are pulling the strings of the conservative wing of the government. Their names are David and Charles Koch. Both are billionaires. They're among the richest people in the world, and they've been pumping millions into the conservative cause, whether it's the struggle against abortion, etc., and of course against healthcare reform. And according to Les Echos, they really used all their influence here to push the government towards this shutdown.
Yeah, no doubt. Lots of people hoping that they're going to get their act together soon and put aside their differences. We're going to come back to France now, and President François Hollande is due to announce the next person to enter the Pantheon. This has been quite a heated debate here, hasn't it?
That's right. The Pantheon is a resting place for French national heroes, and Hollande is expected to give his answer in the coming weeks. And a lot of people say that the next hero could be a woman. Now, there are two women at the Pantheon, but they're both there with their husbands. So who are the contenders? Well, there's a photo, more like a painting there, of the lead contender, who is Olympe de Gouges. So who is she? Well, Le Parisien takes a closer look. She has kind of faded from collective memory, but she was one of the very first feminists and anti-slave activists, and she was actually sent to the guillotine by Robespierre after the revolution. But since then, she's become quite a feminist icon.
Well, talking of women and accolades, we're going to talk now about Alice Munro, who, of course, won the Nobel Prize for Literature.
That's right, but what's interesting about her, she's not very well known here in France, and Slate actually asked, just who is she and why have you never probably heard of her? Well, first of all, Slate says the first thing is her style. It's seen as being very serious, snobbish, some sort of elitist, but also and especially the short story style, that kind of form of literature, la nouvelle as it's known here in France. It's not as widespread as it is in the Anglo-Saxon world, so maybe that's why French people haven't really heard of her.
But I don't think it's that well known in the Anglo world either, so it's quite an interesting thing that she did win that award. All right, Flo Villamo there with the look at the French papers. Thanks very much. Okay, we're going to take a short break now, but stay with us. When we come back, we'll have lots more news and analysis, as well as our special focus report on the plight of the Roma community here in France.